So, what's what's goody? What's goody? What's goody? Darylyn, what's up? Looks like you are the one here currently. I don't know if anyone else has joined us yet. It does not look like it. How you doing today, Darylyn? That is great. I'm good as well. I have no complaints at all. No complaints at all. I definitely appreciate you being here. I'm gonna be transparent. So I've been traveling and I'm just getting back and I was yeah, so I was thinking about normally I structure these and I have an idea on exactly what it is that I'm going to teach, what it is I'm going to cover, but I just had the thought of what would be most valuable. So what I was going to talk about was like credit repair, but since you're here, you're first, you're very punctual. I love that about you. What is something that you think I should cover? What suggestions do you have, if any? It's like I said, I thought it'd be like that. It's all good. I put you on the spot. That's why. That's probably why I put you on the spot. That's what it is. I can what I'll do is I will dang, somebody logged in. They're logging in the community again. And that's my fault. But what I'll do is I'll kind of go over the credit repair topic. And one of the reasons why I wanted to cover that specifically is let me send this message to somebody because he's been asking me so much about credit repair. So that's what I'll touch base on. And if now before I start, if you have an idea, share it because what you share may be something that could take me away from this idea. And I would prefer to do what you mentioned because again, you're here. So I would want to definitely do something that would be valuable to you. So again, don't feel like you can't recommend it or suggest it because you can. And I think I don't know if I'm on social media right now or not. I'm supposed to be. So let me see if that's the case. But yeah. So if you have any, gotcha. Right. Oh yeah, that's fair. I can, and I'll actually start with that. So you're actively using Navy Federal now, right? Okay. Yeah, that's a good start. And what I would say too is so, and this is something I know that you know, but I'm still gonna say it anyway. Keep the account in good standing, and so even if you do like a pledge loan, which without looking at your apps your specific report, I can't say for sure if you need one or not, but what I can say is that most people they do need a pledge loan because out of we've probably helped, and this is no exaggeration, probably like over 50,000 people, and most people, when I look at their credit profiles, a lot of the issues that most people have is that their profile is really thin. So, um, if you don't have maybe 12 to 15 preferably 18 accounts on your credit report, then you could benefit from what's considered to be a pledge loan. Now, with Navy Federal, one thing that I would say too is it would be really good for you if you hold on one sec, hold on. Mm, there we go. My light didn't connect. But it would be really good too for you to understand your internal score. So are you aware that they have an internal score? Yeah. So a lot of like banks, they have like a you have a bank rating, and your bank rating is the thing that determines whether or not you get funding. It determines the amount of funding that you get. Like, it's extremely important. You hear a lot of people talk about like your credit report and your credit score, and those things are important as well. So, don't get me wrong, but a lot of people, they don't talk about your bank rating. So you can actually call Navy Federal and you can just ask them like, "Hey, what is my internal score?" And they'll tell you. Another way that you can find out is if you were to apply for any kind of credit with them, and then they're going to send in the mail the letter letting you know what your internal score is. But so many people miss it. So many people miss that. Um, so your internal score, like I said, like when they so what Navy Federal does is they're going to factor in like your average dollar per day, which is the amount of money that's inside of your account. And all banks do this, but they're going to factor in the amount of money inside of your account, and based off of, like, I think it's like a 30-day cycle. That's how they dictate what your average daily balance is for the month. And I would pull it up and show you mine, just so you can see what I'm talking about. But I don't want to obviously show my stuff all on online. But so when you log back into your Navy Federal account, just so when you log into, actually, let me see something real quick. Let me see. Let me see something. Hold on. Yeah, you can do it from either one. You can do it from either one. Um, hold on. So so once you log in, and you said you have a savings too, though, right? Is it only a savings, or do you have a checking as well? Okay. Okay, good. Yeah, that's good. So yeah, so like I'm in my app right now, and if you like once you log in, when you click on your checking account, if you it'll say the current balance, it'll tell them out, it'll say average daily balance, and then it'll show an amount, and then it'll show what your last statement balance was. Let me know if you see it. Okay. Yeah, no, it's all good. That'll give me a minute to get my lights situated too. So uh there we go. All right. There we go. And while you're doing it, I'm gonna go get a stand real quick. All right, I'm back whenever you find it. Welcome, welcome. Anik. What up, Anik? What up, girl? How you been? You got to keep hanging now. Don't let go. That's the thing. You got to keep hanging in there. Wow. All right. Okay. All right. Good deal. So, Linquan, what's up? What's up, Linquan? All right. So what we're doing right now is, and we're not gonna tell our numbers. Like we're not gonna, unless you feel like sharing your your information, Darylin. But so what we're doing basically, we're talking about Navy Federal right now, and so we're looking at um your average daily balance. And so what I'm explaining is a lot of people we put so much focus on our personal credit. We put a lot of focus on our credit score, but a lot of people don't realize that you also have a credit. I'm sorry, you have a bank rating, and your bank rating is your internal credit score that these banks give you that you know nothing about unless you know to look for them. And so, one of the things that I'm explaining right now is that when it comes to personal credit, business credit, it doesn't matter. One of the factors that the lenders look at is they look at your average daily balance or your bank rating. So Navy Federal, they have their own internal credit score. And I think when I did this last week, I don't it may have been last week, but I talked about one of the ways in which you guys were able to get credit limit increases with Navy Federal without getting a hard inquiry. And I'll explain that again today. And one of the things that is going to be a factor in that is actually looking at your average daily balance. And so if you have Navy Federal, Daryl, and I know you're on it now, but do you see where it says current daily and then average daily balance? Are you on a computer or the phone? Hey, what up, IG? No, I'm on the phone too. No, that's good. If you are you on the app on the phone or are you the app? Okay, what's up, Instagram? How you guys doing? What's going on, everybody? Um, IG, if you we're talking about Navy Federal right now, but if you guys have questions, comments, concerns, I want you to please drop them down in the chat and I will check them out as well. All right. So if you look, the second line, if you're on the app, first line is going to say, so like if you click on the checking, you're going to see your checking account. It'll have your number and it'll have the amount that's in the available balance is in that account. And then when you look at like the white numbers that are under it, you'll see current balance and it'll have a balance number. And then you'll see your average daily balance. You see it. Don't say you see it just to try to be nice and and move it along. Do you see it for real? Okay. Yep. There you go. You got it. Absolutely. So the average daily balance, that number, that's the number that they're calculating your utilizing the amount of money in your account and what has been in that account based off of like their time period. So if you look at last statement balance, even though this is a checking account, it's not a credit card, right? So it's not a credit card, it's a checking account. But if you look at it, it'll actually show you what your balance was on the last statement date. So, and that's important because for those of you like IG again, what up, everybody? Thanks for joining in. I appreciate you guys. And also Zoom, I appreciate you guys as well. Just to recap really quick for everyone that's joining in, right now, what we're looking at, we're going to be talking about personal credit. We're going to be talking about probably a few things if I'm being real with y'all. But we're talking about personal credit. We're talking right now about Navy Federal in particular. But a lot of lenders, they utilize something called bank ratings, your average daily balance. These are things that a lot of people don't know about or talk about, but we put a big focus and a big emphasis on our personal credit and our personal credit score. So this internal rating, this average daily balance is also extremely important. And so that's why we're looking at that right now. Um, Now, again, if you look at the last statement balance, what that is that's just what your balance was in that account at the end of that last statement. So the reason why this is important is because specifically Navy Federal, American Express does this too at a different level, but specifically Navy Federal, whenever you're trying to get funding, whether it's personal credit, and I'm just used to saying funding, y'all, but we're talking more about personal credit right now. But whenever you're trying to get credit, these lenders, they look at the average daily balance and they formulate that to find out what it is that you can probably afford to pay back in conjunction with your personal credit. So here's one of the things that is a hack. And I know some people don't like hacks, but a lot of people love hacks. Some people don't like hacks because they feel like it's something that you shouldn't be doing. But one of the ways that we get clients like larger loans on the business side and on the personal side is we manipulate the average daily balance. And one of the ways that you can manipulate it is that if you're, let's say, for example, there's a company called Upstart. If anybody is familiar with Upstart, can you guys comment Upstart? So that way I know at least somebody know what I'm talking about, or just unmute and say me. If anyone is familiar with Upstart or any kind of like subprime lender. Any of you guys familiar with any of those? So, okay, I'll explain it because I don't think anybody's familiar with it. A subprime lender is a lender that they aren't like American Express. They aren't Chase. They aren't. They're these companies that'll give you loans, but they're going to be higher interest, and a lot of times maybe lower limits. Now, sometimes you can get a $20,000 loan, but you're going to have like interest rate's going to be crazy, like 20 something percent, almost 30% interest rate. It sounds crazy and it is crazy, but there's a use for it. Now, if you are in a situation where you don't have the ideal credit score and credit profile to get what it is that you want to get, then what you can do is you can actually go to like an Upstart. You can go to one of these subprime lenders and you can get a high interest rate loan. And then what you would do is go to like a Navy Federal. And then what you do is you take the loan that you got from Upstart and you put it into your Navy Federal account. And you just want to let it sit there. You have to obviously pay back the loan from Upstart. So what you'll do is you'll actually have automatic payments set up from Navy Federal. So when Upstart is taking out the money for the payments, they're taking it from the account that you have the money sitting in. And so then what happens is the Upstart loan is being paid, but also what we just looked at was the average daily balance. So if you get $20,000, that average daily balance is going to actually reflect $20,000 or whatever the amount is that you have in that account. And so what you do is you're actually able to do a couple of things at Navy Federal. One of the things that you can do at Navy Federal with that money is that you can take it, have it sitting in your savings account, or at least a portion of it in your savings, and you can do what's called a pledge loan. When you do a pledge loan, you're borrowing against the money that is inside of your savings account. And so that's going to help your personal credit report. Another thing that you can do is you can manipulate the average daily balance. And so when you do apply for funding or for credit, that's one of the factors that they're going to take into consideration. And so that's actually going to help you because it's going to show that you actually have more, you have access to capital, basically. And so we've done this type of thing multiple times for businesses, but you can do it on the business side as well as on the personal side as well. So writer Jay said it's like a credit union without all the exactly. It's like a credit union without all the deep dive into your credit history. That's exactly what it is. So Manker, what's going on, bro? So there's ways in which you can, manipulate this situation, but you want to focus on making sure that you have as much in that average daily balance as possible. So did that did that help at all, Darylyn? Did that answer anything? Did that make sense? Okay. So yep. Yeah. And so, but and I'll tell you, even if you've had that account, I've been with Navy Federal now, man, years. Uh I can't think of exactly how long, but I've probably been with them for I've been a full-time entrepreneur now for like 6 years, I think. So I've probably been with Navy Federal maybe 10 years or something. And I haven't done specifically for myself going to Upstart, but we've done that for clients. And the only reason I haven't done it for myself is just because there's no I don't have to do that at this stage in life, but if I needed to, you can rest assured that I would. And so again, one of the reasons why I want people to understand that is because a lot of people what I'm seeing when I look at um are you guys still there, Zoom? Yeah, I see Trails. What's up, Trails? What's up, bro? Hey, okay, all right, good deal. I heard my sound like my computer had somebody had kicked off. But so what I'm seeing when it comes to credit repair, and my boy Trails is here as well, and he's in that space too. But a lot of people when they come to me for funding, for example, a lot of people don't have the right credit profile. And so as I was trying to figure out what it was that I wanted to actually cover, that's why I said, okay, well, let me talk about credit repair and talk about personal credit. That doesn't mean that if you guys have a question that's outside of that, you still can ask it, right? And if there's time, Big Quez, what's going on, bro? Quezzo the boss. What's up, Jabari? I thought it was you, but I wasn't sure. Um, so if you guys have any questions that aren't pertaining to what I'm talking to, you should still feel free to drop it in the chat. If you're on Zoom, feel free to unmute and just ask it. And I'll likely deviate from what I'm saying just to answer it, or I'll remember it and just come back to it later. Hold on, I got something right here too. But okay, so what's happening is that when I'm looking at people's credit profiles, I'm noticing that a lot of people don't have the right amount of trade lines. Their profile is not structured properly. And so you may come to me and you may be like, yo, Josh, Birdman hands. Yo, Josh, I got a 800 credit score, bro. Give me some funding. I know you can get me 100 thou wow. And I might be like, yo, definitely, that's what's up. And I'll send you a link and be like, yo, a lot of you guys have done this, but I'll be like, yo, log into this account, create a generic password and username, and send me the login information so I can look and see what your credit profile looks like. What I'm doing is I'm trying to save you from heartache and I'm trying to save you from getting an unnecessary hard inquiry. And what's happening is that here's the things that I'm noticing a lot of people don't have and just don't know about. Your credit score is almost irrelevant if you don't have the right credit profile. So, when it comes to a credit profile, you guys need to have, I would say, at least, let's just say at least 13 accounts that are open and reporting. But you have to have a good credit mix. So you have to have installment loans, revolving loans. You have to have um, uh, these different types of reporting trade lines on your credit report. So if you look at your report and you say to yourself, like, yo, I need to file for bankruptcy. Some people, I've had people say that they're gonna file for bankruptcy. Then I look at their report and I'm like, yo, you don't need to file for bankruptcy. You just need to get some positive trade lines. You need some primary accounts. And so the thing that most people, everybody really can benefit from is primary accounts reporting on your credit report. And I'm gonna tell you guys a few ways that you can do that. Um, with that being said, one way that I would tell you not to do that is to try to go buy trade lines. There's a company called TradeLineSupply.com, and they're good for something, but it's not for you to go and here we go. I knew I was live somewhere. I couldn't find it. It's not for you to go and So I don't want you guys going to Trade Line Supply, buying a trade line, or even coming to, like, let's say myself and saying, Josh, I need to get a $30,000 trade line on my report. And you're paying 10,000, not 10,000, I'm tripping. You're paying $1,000 for a $30,000 trade line report on your credit report. That's not going to help you the way you think is going to help you. What the reason why we would do that is because we're going to do it to help you get the credit age. We're also going to do it to help you get the credit limit to show that you have access to it. But the thing is, when lenders look at that, they can already tell that that's an authorized user account. It's not your primary account. Yeah, so they say 10 trade lines. Yeah, and 10 trade lines is a decent number to be at, but 13 really is more ideal. What do you suggest if your credit score is at a standstill? Jabari, I think I could bring you on. Would you be would you want to come up if I can bring you on so that way you can because I would need to have a conversation with you about that so I can understand what you mean. Or if you can explain what do you mean it's at a standstill. Um so again, primary accounts. And so what that looks like, Trail, would you mind unmuting? Do you what's one of the primary accounts you would recommend to your clients when you're doing credit repair? What's some accounts you can recommend? Say it again. Yep. Yeah, I hear you. You sound good. You got this. Yeah, there you go. Say that last part one more time. Hey, what up, Jabbar? How you doing, bro? You good, man? Hey, can you hear what he just said about say that last one more, and I want everyone to hear this last one because this last one I rarely ever I've probably heard one person make a piece of content about it. But this last one is so powerful because it's going to solve so many problems for people. It is a little pricey for you to get it. I'll just throw that out there, but say it one more time, Trail. So for what he just said for Instagram, he's talking about it's a company called Magnum. Magnum, they are a division of Credit Strong. And so the benefits, like what Trail just said, is that they will give you, you said a $50,000 credit limit, right? Trail, 50,000? Yeah. So they'll give you a $50,000 trade line on your personal credit report, and it's going to cost you $1,000 a month, right? And so that's what I'm saying. It's not cheap, but they have cheaper options too. So Ava, Kovo, Magnum, um, Credit Strong. There's another one. If you guys are renters, there's a company called Rent Reporters. You can use them, and you can backdate it 2 years. I mean, there's so many of them. There's actually quite a few. Um, and I try to connect my iPad so that way I could share some of those with y'all. But yeah, if you guys were to at least take action on those, if you're in a situation where you need primary trade lines, if you know you're already below 10, right? You need to look into getting those that we just mentioned. And if you guys need us to repeat them, let us know. We will. So Jabari is up right now. I want Jabari. What's up, bro? How you feeling, man?
I'm good, bro. Can't complain, man. Can't complain. Look, my question was, so my credit score is like at a standstill.
Okay.
Um, so um, if it's at a standstill, what's the best way to keep it moving? Because right now I'm in a good place where if I need anything, I get approved for it.
Gotcha.
But I used to be at 800, so I'm
Mhm.
trying to get back to an 800. But right now it's like I'm at a standstill. It's just like staying there. So what do you suggest?
So, well, let me ask you this. So, what are you at? If you feel comfortable, if you don't, it's okay.
Oh yeah,
So,
740.
you're 740. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So, a 750 is the same as the 800. So for starters, it's pretty
Okay.
much the same thing. You get a little bit more bragging privileges, but it's about the same. So I would only assume one of the reasons why it's at a standstill is because it's either credit age, credit mix, um, or utilization. And so
Okay.
what that looks like is if you have a utilization that is over 10%, that utilization being over 10%, if your score is that high, I don't see your utilization being like over 30%.
No.
But if it is I could see it being 30% and being that your score being that high, but you want to get it down to like below 10%. So that's if it's utilization. Because
Okay.
it's like a big misconception about like credit utilization. People say that it needs to be under 30%, which is true, but really 10% is like the sweet spot.
Okay.
Another thing that you can look at is they're called uh we we call them like ghost. It's not ghost cards. Ghost cards, it means something different, but it's almost like you have a credit card, but if you don't report a balance, they're sleep basically. So I don't know if this happened to you, and maybe this will help somebody else too, but let's say, for example, myself, right? Every now and again, I just won't pay my whole balance off, but most of the time I pay it off every month. Um, so what I realized is that if I didn't pay it off one month, what ended up happening was I got a notification that said you woke up a sleeping card. And so it looks like I'm not even using the card.
And see, that's my thing. I have multiple cards. I have probably about maybe 9 credit cards. Out of
That's
those
good.
nine, I only use like two. So
Use them joints,
is
bro.
it because it's considered a doormat card?
Yep,
Like because I'm not using it.
absolutely. You need to use them.
And then I also heard if you have a credit card and you don't use it, but then you go and close it, that hurts your credit score too.
Absolutely. Never close a credit card, bro. I would and I'm so glad you said that. So in regards to everything we're talking about, and Daryl, and I know I kind of got off track. I'm coming back, I promise. In regards to everything that we're talking about, so when I started rebuilding my credit, I started off with a Capital One secured card, $200. So I had a $200 secured Capital One card. I still have that card to this day.
Okay.
I have some of my cards got $30,000. This is the personal side, not even business side. So why it doesn't make sense. Why would he keep a $200 secure? And it's still a secure card. It's still a secure card. So
Yeah.
it's like people don't understand why would you keep a $200 secure card when you can, like you just don't need it, and I don't need it. But
Yeah.
the thing is that the reason why actually I do need it. The reason why I need it is because it has all of my credit age. So if I were to close that account, it's going to destroy
You
my
lose the
credit score.
age.
I'm gonna lose
Yep.
all the age.
Yep.
So that's what I would say is, I would never close a credit card. And Zoom chat, I'm gonna actually I see the chat. I'm gonna come over there in a second too on the Zoom chat. Um, I would never close a credit card. You guys, please don't ever close your credit card. Just don't do it. Um, so don't do it. But also too, I would definitely use all of my credit cards. If you're not using a credit card,
Nah.
what'll end up happening is they'll close that joint for you.
I
You know what
had
I'm
a
saying?
gas card that just closed for probably about 3 months ago.
And and if you go and try to get a credit limit increase, they won't give it to you because that's probably the number one reason why we see denials on credit limit increases is because they say that you're not using the credit card.
Yeah.
Happened to me. I don't. I honestly will tell you guys I don't, and I almost don't want to say it because I want them to sponsor something that I'm gonna do in the future. But I don't really like Capital One. I don't like them because even on the business side, they report everything to your personal credit. They report everything to your personal credit.
Yeah.
And so, and again, I told you guys I have a $200 credit limit with them on one card that I started rebuilding my credit with. And I have another one that's got like 1,800, and these are my lowest credit cards. And so I was trying to get a credit limit increase, and they sent me a message back and was like, they didn't say yo, but that's just how I talk. They're like, yo, you don't even
Yeah.
use the card. Like, you don't even use our card. So what I would tell you is, for anybody who is in a situation where you have credit cards that you're not using, you have to use them. Set up Netflix or set up like your something small. You need to just use the card so that the activity is there, because what you can also do is request a credit limit increase. And so if you're not using it, like I said, you will lose it. So it's extremely important that you guys make sure that you actually use your credit cards. I'm sorry, hold on one second. Y'all says Zoom user. Hey Josh, it's Keisha. What's up, Keisha? My Zoom would have let me change my name, but anyways, I had to learn the hard way when you sent the link. It's okay, no worries. I'm still learning. I have a secured card as well, but I don't use it. Should I just make sure I use it monthly? Absolutely. Yes, I just started my credit repair company, and I'm so excited for you on that too, Darylyn. Never close a car. It is needed for age, and absolutely. Yep, absolutely. Um, yeah. So, Jabbar, I'm sorry, you had another question, or you had something. What else was it? Did I forget something?
No, no, you answered mine. I
Okay.
appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. No problem at all, man. Hey, look, it's good to see you, man.
Yeah, bro. Always good, man.
I'll be back at the cribs. I was there for like a day this past week, and I'm really just getting back. But I'll be back in the near future. Are you on Facebook too?
Nah, nah, just
Okay.
IG.
So I was actually gonna do a live event, and I ended up not doing it. But I'm gonna do it when I go back. So I'll make sure I post that information on IG too.
Yeah, yeah. And I'll be
So
there for sure.
I
Yeah.
appreciate you, bro.
All right, bro. Good to
Stay
see you.
stay on if you can stay on. I appreciate you. Good to see you
No,
too, bro.
I am, bro.
All right. Quezzo the
All right.
boss. Quez, are you able to Quez, are you able to bring yourself up or request it to come up, Quez? Started my credit pair. Okay. So yeah, so kind of jumping back to Navy Federal, if so all right, that's what I was gonna say. So when it comes to you guys actually doing the credit limit increases, so what people typically do is, my bad, Jabbar. I don't know how to I don't know how to get you off, bro. Um hold on, y'all. Let me figure this out real quick. But what people typically do when they go to Navy Federal and try to get credit limit increases, they typically will either call in or they will just go online and apply for a credit limit increase. But that's really the worst thing that you can do. What you guys want to do in order to get the credit limit increase without having to actually go through the process of getting the inquiry, excuse me, is like Darylyn and I just did. Go inside of your, first of all, you need to freeze TransUnion. So freeze your TransUnion credit report, freeze it, and then you want to go into your app on your phone. And then when you go into your app on your phone, you want to go to the credit card that you have that you want to Quiz, are you saying Nawl, Nawl? You don't want me to bring you up so everybody can see your big head? So what you want to do is you want to go in and freeze your TransUnion. After you freeze your TransUnion account, then you want to actually go and do a credit limit increase. Now, when you do a credit limit increase, don't be modest. Like, don't be shy. Tell them folks you want as much as you can get. So what I always do is I'll go in and put $50,000. I'll tell them I need, let me get 50,000 out you. Now they may or may not do it, but if you just put like a $1,000 increase, then if they give you half of that, you're only getting $500. What I typically see in situations where we go in and we request a higher limit is when we do 50,000, because I think that's the max that they'll let you do. What ends up happening is that if they don't give us the 50, they'll give us 20, or they'll give us 30 or 10. But if you don't even request an amount and you just take whatever they give you, then I can guarantee you're going to short yourself and you're going to regret it. Well, maybe you won't regret it, but you should regret it. But you probably just don't realize that you hurt yourself in that process. So Again, go to TransUnion, freeze that account, log into the app. Once you're in the app, then you can actually do a credit limit increase. And what Navy Federal is going to do is utilize your internal score, like we were talking about earlier. This is to bring everything back full circle. They're going to utilize your internal score. They're not going to utilize your credit report. So they're going to utilize your banking history with them. They're going to utilize whatever your average daily balance is. That's what they're going to utilize to actually approve or deny your credit limit increase. And what's beautiful about that is, like I said, it's not going to directly impact your credit report because you will not get a hard inquiry. So that's one of the things that I love about using Navy Fed, is that there's many different ways for you to be able to do that, to get more money out of them. One thing too that I want you, and I know I'm talking a lot about Navy Federal because Darylin is super punctual. Darylin be getting in early, and I love that. And so like I've been traveling, like I just told Jabari, I just got back into Atlanta, and so I didn't really plan this teaching like I would want it to. So I was having a conversation with Darylin, and so that's why I'm harping on Navy Federal, because that's what we were talking about. But for those of you who are business owners, well, first of all, back to the personal side, please understand that when you're applying for Navy Federal 2, they're only going to give you guys 3 credit cards. Navy Federal will not give you more than 3 credit cards. The maximum amount that they're going to give you for a credit limit amongst all your credit cards total together is $80,000. $80,000. Now, you can take and condense those 3 credit cards to just one card and have $80,000. You can do that. They will do that for you. Or you can keep them split and separate and just have it broken up amongst the 3 different cards that you have. So I have over $100,000 of personal credit with Navy Federal, but it's because I also have a credit line with them too. So I have the 3 credit cards and I have a credit line. And so had I known before I started going through the process of applying with them, I would have done some things differently in regards to my actual credit card with applications with Navy Federal. So now, as far as the business side, because I get this question a lot too, when it comes to the business side of Navy Federal, I have a renovations business too. And a lot of my guys that work for me, I can't, like, they don't want to get paid with, like, they're not on payroll. So I Zoom a lot of the payments to them. I'm tripping. I Zelle a lot of the payments to them. I Zelle them. And so Navy Federal will not allow you to do Zelle. The business side, they won't let you do Zelle. So if you guys are planning on doing Zelle for your business, just already understand that Navy Federal is not the bank for you for the business side. I will also tell you that Chase may not be the bank for you on the business side if you're needing to do Zelle. And the reason is because Chase, what they do is they will not allow you to be able to do Zelle to a bank that is not directly connected to Zelle. Give you an example. I have a credit union in North Carolina that I use. Really good credit union. They're kind of behind the times, honestly. Jeremy, what's up? What up, boy? Man, it's good to see you. I ain't seen you about 50 years, man. It's good to see you, brother. So I use a bank in North Carolina that's called dang, Jeremy, you just threw me off, man. I'm so happy to see you, bro. It's called State Employees Credit Union. So when it comes to them, they're not directly connected to Zelle, like, for example, my Bank of America is. So when I'm trying to send money from Chase to my credit union in North Carolina, they won't do it because I have that not directly connected to the bank. And so